Previously on STV.
I'm talking about the Wella Design Awards 1994.
Hey, dance, dance, dance. Come on, switch. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, switch. Come on, come on. Switch. Come on. Switch it. Come on. Hey, dance. 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 Come on. Switch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Switch.
It is such a shame I don't have more photos, and I don't know why I don't have more photos of this show, but you know what? I still have this t-shirt. Da-da-da. And I'm really happy I do. I don't know if any of the models have the t-shirt still, but this is Image Visage Model Management. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But these fabulous photos of the models backstage. And look, I think I took these photos, and that's why I'm not in them. And you can see who's who. So I don't need to introduce them. These are the top models of the time. We have a few newbies in this one. Bridget and Miranda, who is sitting at the bottom. So at the bottom from your left is Melinda, Marlene, and Miranda. Look, if you're raising your eyes at the makeup, that's all we had in the 90s. And foundation-wise, well, we didn't have Riri and co, capitalizing on Eurocentric insecurities. But anyway, speaking of which, something very pertinent to what's happening today, Sydney Sweeney and that jeans ad. Yeah, there's something later on in the program, and you'll know it when you get to it. I talk a little bit about what our sponsors should have been doing and what they were doing, and a little bit of information about that. No, we don't have sponsors. This is a free program, and no one sponsors us. I'm talking about the sponsors of the Wella Design Awards in 1995, which was 30 years ago. So anyway, going back to talking about the models of Image Visage Model Management. Look, something I forgot to mention in the Wella 94 show was that in 1990, there was an initiative started by the Fiji government to encourage, investment and growth. And this was a significant thing for the garment industry, the tax-free factory scheme. And so to encourage, as I said, to encourage investment and foreign investment. And the garment industry exploded as a result of that. And because of that, the Garment Training Center was started. And this year, Wella 1995 actually had quite a few entries from the wonderful students of the Garment Training Center. And I do not know where these women are now. And if by chance they watch this show, I hope you get to see your wonderful designs on the runway, modeled by Fiji's top models of 1995. And that was with Image Visage Model Management. Here's a little bit of history about Image Visage. Now, Image was a very popular boutique started by Zelda, who is one of the models and was one of the supermodels of the time. And she had, as I said, a boutique, and Visage, which was a model management company in New Zealand. I don't know if it still exists. This is 30 years ago. So because of all of this investment happening in Fiji, et cetera, and growth, they approached Image and said, let's collaborate. And so there was a lot of really good work available for models, and we had some really fun things that we were doing and got paid really well, etc. Because Image Visage Model Management took over from what Anna Sweetman had been doing. She was our first agent, my first agent, and she was wonderful for us and for the industry back then too, which was a bit more, it was more intimate and a bit more, what should I say, policed? No, not policed. We were looked after. Anyway, so that's about Image Visage Model Management. And these T-shirts, as I said, I don't know if anyone's got these T-shirts. So about the show, also what you couldn't see in the photo are our three boys, the three top male models of the time. That's Andrew, Tico, and Neil. You'll see them in the show. Speaking of the show, so this year, we upped it. I was given complete creative control because Wella 94 was such a success. 1995 for me was an incredible year personally, because I was back and forth between Hong Kong and Fiji, and then moved to Asia in 1995. But was singing, modeling, and writing. So it was just a wonderfully dynamic time in the world. So but as I was given creative control, sorry, I was like, reminiscing of the time. Anyway, so yes, I was given creative control, and I also wanted to elevate, of course, which you should always do. You should always elevate from the previous success. And what I changed was that the judging was done in the daytime altogether, so that the audience wasn't subjected to the model having to walk for about 3 minutes, 3 to 5. That's a long time, 3 to 5 minutes. And this is why back then models had to have personality, so you could hold the runway, the catwalk, we called it back then. So this year, though, because look, I have to be frank about this, fashion parades can be boring unless you really understand what you're watching, unless you understand the designer's vision and you are a fashion connoisseur and you love the beauty and the artistry of it all. And, I guess people are there for the hot women and the beautiful women. But the personalities back then were great. They really made the entire, it was an absolute feeling that was being conveyed off the catwalk, off the runway back then. So, but still, it was best to, make it, condense it. So it was faster, snappier. This is what we changed. So the judging was actually done in the daytime, and the judges could take their time and really look at the garments, at the craftsmanship and the models. We would just stand there, and so that the judges could see what a garment looked like on. And that was great. So by the time the evening commenced, by the time the guests was, everyone knew. Everybody except the winners knew who the models and the judges. My apologies, not everybody. Everybody, but the models, we knew who the winner was. So it was all very exciting, and it choreographed everything. I'm not sure if I talked about what the opening number was. Wearing these T-shirts, we choreographed a number to Janet Jackson's "Throb." Now, if you don't know this song, we put a link in the caption. This song is provocative, and yes, well, we did a little thing like whatever, and it was just fun, and then which led into the swimsuit show by Sunseeker. And I styled that. Actually, in the photograph and in the clips, you can see posters, and I hand wrote all those posters, styled the walks, etc. It's just fun, and it may seem all over the top and theatrical, but it was just fun. It was just fun to do so, and you can see the levels of experience in the models, or the ages or seniority when we walk. You can see the supermodels, you can see the top models, you can see the cool models. I don't know. It's very nice. I love all our personalities of all the models back then. So where was I with this? So yes, so this year we elevated. And now we also added categories. So last year we had the casual resort wear, and we had ethnic, and we had evening. We added bridal and fantasy, because Wella 94 really kick-started something. And also, as I said, with the growth of the garment industry back then. But Wella 94 was the first big big national show, just open to people, everyone. And so it kickstarted an era of artistry. My gosh. And just elevated everybody, and people realized, wow, it's possible to just push all boundaries and forget staying in your lane or whatever it is they insist you all do. Everyone just went for it. Just, oh my goodness me. So the designs in 1995 were just a step, like, just elevated, just absolutely stunning. And the designers that entered this year were all amazing. And we had choices this time to choose from, not as in they were chosen to take, yes, auditioned or something like that. I don't know. So we had the bridal and the fantasy categories added, and the judges did their thing, and the winners were awarded after each category, and the main winner was awarded at the end of the evening, and you'll see all of that, followed by the David Shields show. Now, David Shields was Wella's hairstylist that year, and he put together this collection of garments that he designed. So we it was just a fun show. The clothing was superb, absolutely gorgeous. And I'm so sad that I don't have photos, but I'm really, really happy that we have this footage, which I don't know how I have, honestly, because I had left Fiji a few days after the show. And I think at the end of the show, you'll see a photograph of me at the podium saying, thank you very much, bye, bye, bye. And then I flew out a few days after that. So I never got to see this show. To see it has been absolutely marvelous. And I've had it for so long. And it's just, I really, really am enjoying being able to share this with you. Even if you're not from Fiji, I hope you are enjoying this vintage treasure to see what life was like 30 years ago, even on a dot on the map like Fiji. It's fun, it's glamorous, it's fabulous, and it really should be inspiring because it's very inspirational. And that's all I have to say, because now I'll leave you to watch it. Thank you for being here.
Hey, dance. Dance.
Oh, look, it's me. Gosh, I look like such a dork. Anyway, this year, it was such an exciting year for not just for me personally, but the show. I upped the ante. I was left completely in charge as creative director. That's my writing. That's my handwriting on the posters with everybody in order. And we're getting ready for the David Shields show, actually, which is later. Now, this is Suzanne Jarzabkowska. She is the founder of Project 91.
Sorry that we don't have enough seats, but it's really great at Project 91 for the first time ever to be in a position where we've sold out a function.
So let's take a look inside the Sheraton Fiji Ballroom with Wella and Fiji One.
I absolutely loved this from Nana. This was shown on Marlene, as you can see, and Ray Shelley was wearing a black version, but it's not two versions. And Nana's just describing how she wanted to show that it is a reversible ensemble, and it was just absolutely marvelous. And she hand paints everything. I don't know if she still does that, but she is one of Fiji's top designers and really our region's. I love Ray Shelley. She's so nonchalant. I swear she was chewing gum. Oh my gosh. I was like, stop chewing gum, but she looks so cool. This is Wendy in classic Yaya by top designers still. Rosie Emberson-Sanisi, who is still one of the leading, and here she is 30 years ago. And she's just talking about how she wants her resort wear to be, just not fussy, no zips and things like that, no buttons, just slip it on and go. And it's in the softest cotton. It was lovely and frills, and Wendy was wearing that. But Rosie still does really amazing prints and things, and is still an educator. She is a teacher of fashion. And this is classic Yaya. She had a beautiful boutique in Cumming Street in Suva, Fiji. Absolutely stunning, her gowns. And this is Priscilla wearing a two-piece. Now, if I remember correctly, and I'm sure it's going to show that right now, this was designed by Rosie's young daughters, Mela and Josie Ann. So this was their contribution to resort wear, and look, it's delightful. And I think they bedecked or like glued matching flowers onto thongs that they had bought from the markets. Oh gosh, it's me. Look, I can't watch myself on the runway. What are you doing? You're so dramatic. But I'm wearing Ashish Kapadia, who I will talk about later, and hopefully we do get to feature him on the Stylander, because Ashish is an absolute legend. This is me in 1997 or 1998 wearing one of his creations, and I do want to talk about Ashish, and hopefully, as I said, we get to interview him, because my gosh, he is a legendary name of this nation. Yep, I had to get this thing. It's silly, because I don't necessarily need to be that serious on the shoot, okay? So anyway, let's carry on. We'll see Ashish later on this year. Anyway, this is me in this gypsy outfit by Ashish, and this is another one of his signatures. Having midriff bare, but having, what's called an illusion waist. So he's just describing how he wanted to show or convey the feel of a bikini. And I'm sorry we can't actually play their interviews, and I'll explain later why. Now, this is Zelda, and she's one of the senior models, and wearing Mala Chorda. Now, Mala, as I said, Mala's lovely. Mala is still doing quite a lot of things. She has a kids label, Coconut Kids, but she still occasionally does her pieces. Her version, she was saying, like, what if someone just wants to be casually in the city? And so that was her version of casual. As I said, it was quite a range. Now, Gay and Whom, so it was just a lovely ensemble you could wear without the pants and without the hat. Of course, you can use the belt that was used around the hat to tighten the waist, and you can just do a few things. This is Bridget wearing Art on You. My gosh. Now, Kenny and Laffy were artists. Laffy is describing here that she'll just change things. If she sees a shirt that she likes, she might want to wear it as pants, and she'll just paint on it. The reason why we can't actually play the original interviews is because the original production has they've used music that is copyrighted all over what the artists are saying and designers are saying, and very, very loudly too. Anyway, Bridget, who was just new with us, the rest of the top models, is wearing this incredible, working the heaven out of this ensemble. Was just painted, just splashed with, it was just lovely. I mean, you'd wear it any era. It's classic. This is vintage now, by the way, and it's classic. And any one of us would wear it. I'm not sure what Andrew's modeling here, but there you go. He's doing it quite fine. Andrew was one of our top models. And Andrew has also, there's Tico. Tico had swag, man. But I was talking about Andrew. Andrew actually modeled with the legendary Pacific Runway in Australia, in Sydney, Australia, and I'll probably put some photographs of that up later somewhere. But Tico, yeah. But I don't really remember too much about some of the designers, but these are just this casual, like, yeah, pants, man, just put on a pair of, just a singlet or a white shirt or whatever. This is Tanya Whiteside, who is an iconic designer and heir to an iconic name in the Pacific designer. So she has just announced who has won the casual, and it is Naina, of course. Standing next to Tanya is Natalie Edwards, who was the newsreader at the time. So there you go. Very deserved. I explained last year why ethnic was my favorite category. But okay, so let's carry on with this. So Miranda Foon, she was Miss Hibiscus that year, which is a big, it's the Miss Universe of Fiji, and Miranda was just a fabulous model. She's wearing a modernized version of a Sulu Chiamba, actually, which is a traditional Kaiviti two-piece, and it's taken from around the Pacific. So and it's not Sulu and Chamba, by the way, and it's not Sulu Chamba. It's actually Sulu Chiamba. It's talking about the dress and the Sulu, which is taken from the Tongan word for cloth. And anyway, so the Samoans, I think they call it puletasi, the two-piece. So it's very much prevalent in the Pacific, this two-piece, which is also very something not unlike. You put a scarf on it, and all of a sudden it becomes a three-piece, which is, well, I guess you could call it the denied race in Fiji, the Indo-Islander. Anyway, speaking of Indo-Islander, we've got Nana with one of her most wonderful creations. And Grace, I love Grace. Grace is my favorite model from Fiji. This is incredible. It was an orange or a burnt orange with brown. And that's mangi mangi, which is what, coconut husk? And Nana would just braid it and, sew it. And it's just intricate work. And oh God, it's me. God, I can't watch myself. What am I doing? Why am I doing that? Stop it. But look, I was, it was a very, 90s was a very have a personality time, be theatrical, etc., etc. So this was made out of hessian because Nana, Melini as she was called then, and now she is known as Nana, she would jokingly say that I could make a hessian sack look good, so which was very kind of her. So she would make these incredible fusion garments and ensembles like that is a lehenga, or just not really. It's just an incredible homage and nod to the cultures in the Pacific. So absolutely beautiful. I enjoyed being a face for Nana, and I continue to be a face for quite some time up till about 2018, 2019. And Grace too, I should say, is a face of Nana, and Grace stopped modeling back then, so she's not really remembered, and she should be because she is one of Fiji's supermodels. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to Wendy's wearing classic yaya. This was fantastic. It was a style of the times. Rosie was very good at being up with the trends. We didn't have social media. You had to actually educate yourself. Now, this was a baby doll style. That was the trend of the time, and Rosie just made her own with coconut shell cups, and then it's tapa with mangi embroidery. It is absolutely superb, and Wendy is just delightful. And yeah. So this is Marlene in a three-piece, which is quite another fusion of cultures and just an homage to everyone. And that's why I loved ethnic, because people could really use their creativity to show our unity. And I loved that about our designers back then, how they really, really fused our cultures. Now that's multicultural. It's beautiful. I loved it. Marlene. Now, this is Zelda in quite an unusual garment. I don't know too much about its origin, but it doesn't look too much Fiji as it looks like Islander, so from the Pacific, and I would say more Polynesian. And I do know that I can't remember what that's called. It's seed pods from a tree, and I think that skirt is made from flayed bark, and it's a lot of work to make it that soft, and that's what they call the grass skirt. That's a lot of work. Anyway, look, I do have to say that sometimes we'd put the top models in some of the garments, or a hard sell, because they'd know how to wear it. Anyway, we've got Priscilla in classic yaya. And this is a deep purple. The lighting, who's in charge of the lighting? Oops, it was me. But this is wrong, this lighting. There was a spotlight from the front camera, and you can see the colors. You can't see the spotlight here, but it's a deep purple, and the colors are yellow and pink, very vibrant. And I think the jacket is lined as well. It's a bolero jacket. Again, a shift and a bolero, very much of the 90s, very much a style of the time. And Priscilla is just classic featured. Now here's our sassy, nonchalant Racheli, and she is wearing a three-piece that was similar to what we saw before, but this was the print is in a tapa, and just the same, just another homage, fusion, like a nod to the cultures in Fiji. And this is not long after the coup, so it was interesting that everyone was showcasing such community and using their creativity to do so. Gosh, I love Racheli. She was just so like, yeah, who's here? Who cares? What of it? I'm on a runway. You're not. Bridget, whoa, I love this outfit. Totally. This is very 70s. So again, this is art on you using their great, cool art selves. And Ken Williams is an artist, entrepreneur. I'm not sure where he is. My apologies. But I did have we were in the music industry. Here's Ken. Again, apologies for not being able to show you or have play the interviews because the music is quite loud. It's copyright, so we can't do it here. But Ken is just describing, he's just saying, look, we're just paying an homage to 70s and how it was. Bridget looks so good, so fantastic. I love this ensemble. I would wear it. Anyone should wear it now. The prints, the colors are gorgeous. I do believe there are some photographs later, but wowee, I love it. Absolutely love it. Totally would wear it. And she's wearing some, I think, traditional material necklace. Oh, Melinda in Mala Chorda's version, her homage to our cultural fusion, and this is a Surujamba ensemble as well. And it's quite something. What a garment to wear out, The fitting perhaps, needs to, I would fit it a bit more, but look, the creativity is unsurpassed back then. I feel that the industry has gone quite backwards. God, I feel terrible saying that, but anyway. So anyway, this is all of us standing there, of course. And as I had said, the judging had been done early in the day, so all of this was quite rapid but lovely and not so we weren't there for years. John Apted is a multimedia personality, high-profile prosecutor, and as I said, high-profile media personality. So he was a judge because he was also a high-profile designer. Nana won again. So it's just wonderful. I wish this is what I'm talking about having a World Fashion Awards instead of, pageants. Here are the photos. Here we go. I sadly do not have a lot. Oh. Wow, look at that. Look at the colors. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Absolutely amazing.
Hey, dance. Dance. Dance.
Oh gosh, these ads are so of the times, but I have to say something. Whose times? Because these ads were played in Fiji, multicultural Fiji, and look at these ads, and I'm sorry, let's talk a little bit about Wella. Wella is a German origin company. Wella is a German word for waves or something like that, and balsam is a herb. So look at all of this, and look at how it's sold. Natural quality. Natural beauty. Oh my goodness me. It's all Euro white women with Euro white hair, and it's all a little bit disturbing because it's very pertinent to the times. This was 30 years ago, almost to the day. And now we have this controversy or a scandale du jour with Sydney Sweeney, who is the blonde of Hollywood du jour. And it's, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing du jour. Anyway, I digress. Back to what we're looking at right now. What is this ad? Oh, look, this is an ad of the Times, and this is a cooking show, and it's, who made this? I think. It's got Pasifika all over it. It's like curing insomnia. No offense to the chef. I mean, the food looks pretty good, but the filming and... Yep. I can feel the sleep time coming on. Must be Pasifika for you. Anyway, back to the show. Evening. Look, designers of the time. Oh gosh, it's me. And as I said, the top models, we wore garments that we may not have personally liked, but models aren't supposed to like the garment they're walking in. That's the whole point of their job and role. Models are the canvas for someone else's design, vision, and idea. Anyway, this is from the Garment Training Center. So a group of students, and I was honored that they had asked me to wear this, I will do that. And I thought it was quite lovely because it is, again, a mix of cultures that they've done. The bridal, and this is another one. And the evening, not bridal. And I loved it. I think it's all quite elegant and lovely. And I think I would wear that black and white one now. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And this is interesting what Melinda's wearing. Purple satin. The satin was big. Satin was very much a material of the times. It's not very forgiving, so if you're sitting down for a long time, expect to have wrinkles on your lap. And yet again, I think, well, that's just natural wear and tear. Oof, Marlene looking absolutely killer in this killer ensemble by Ashish Kapadi. It was velvet, and then, of course, this matching jacket and perfect quality, the craftsmanship of this jacket, because, of course, I had been with the judges all day. looking at all the garments, and now look, this is the dress underneath it. And just, this was these little details were an Ashish signature. All these little, I think, what is it? I don't know what I'm saying. Oh my God, corsetry. No, it's not corsetry. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's fantastic. And Marlene looks, va va boom. Here's Grace. Oh, Marla again in a fantastic ensemble. This was more raw silk. And that was like a beautiful sunshine yellow. And the dress underneath, if I recall, was a mauve or a muted purple. How would I describe this? It's not at all mauve. Look, it's a lilac. Look, it's metallic. I don't care what color it is. It's gorgeous. And Grace looks fantastic. And yeah, it was really beautiful. Evening was a big deal in Fiji and I think the world back then. Everyone's so casual now, but back then, every week was an occasion to go out and wear something fabulous. But wow, Grace looks amazing. Fantastic. And Miranda, and again, well, I guess this is their signature silhouette, but it is elegant if you know how to hold yourself. And this was pre-kaftans. Kaftans now are used to hide. These garments in their slinky fabrics, and this is again like a bit more of a soft sateen. They're meant to enhance. Wow, how fabulous are these three? Bridget, Andrew, and Racheli, and art on you. Wow, what an look at this little collection. It's fantastic, all hand painted. I love it. This is the evening gown. Racheli is just cool. And Andrew, he's I think those pants are sort of like dhoti pants. I don't know why we didn't get a better look at that. We have left a lot of their cuts in, the original cuts. We didn't do a lot of cuts. I may have cut a bit of myself out, but anyway, let's not talk about that. But look, everyone looks amazing, and we all come onto the stage. We all know who the winner is, and so etc. The model who is wearing the winner's garment leaves the stage, and this is Jean Ragg, who was the previous year's winner, and she's announcing the winner for the evening. Now, this year, of course, as I explained earlier, we added 2 categories. And this is the one coming up, but of course, let's first see Ashish as winner of the evening category. So, look, these are the garments. I don't know where any photographs are. Makes me cry. But anyway, the ones I have, I value. So.
Thank you very much for coming. All of the funds tonight will go towards that much-needed hospital, and the government has publicly committed in Nandi twice now, not just the Ministry of Health, but the Ministry of Finance, to building that hospital. Of course, the objective is finding the money, but that, of course, is the objective of just about every project here in Nandi, to try and find the money. We hope that in the next year or so, overseas funding may be sourced and we can commence building the facility that we need so much.
So, Bridal was our first category, and Zelda is divine in this incredible gown by Rosie. This was her signature. Gowns, intricate details, the embroidery and the versatility, and just making the toughest material. Like Marcy you have to do a lot to it to make it soft. And she would make it soft and fashion it to, like, as you can see, the bow. And I think one of her signatures, as I said, is versatility. And this gown worn by Priscilla perfectly shows the versatility that classic Yaya and classique Yaya, I think it was still classic Yaya. Anyway, Tico is looking like the cat who got the cream. Okay, Tico. And Priscilla looks absolutely divine. And Rosie was very clever with this, because look, the frills came off to just be a shift dress, which could be the reception dress. What a perfect garment. Who wouldn't want that? I even enjoy the frills, really. I would have perhaps maybe there's a different touch to it, way to do it, but look, this is all just, I think these are Rosie's daughters. Melinda, look, this dress is so very, at that time perhaps we all went, gosh, this is old-fashioned, but now it's so vintage, and I love it. I would wear this. I would absolutely wear this. Melinda is the model we would always put in something that is a little bit difficult to convince people that this is a garment worth wearing, because Melinda, it was just so cool and nonchalant about. But I actually love this dress. There was a Lego mutton sleeves. I think it's quite lovely. It's very charming. It's certainly, creative. And Marlene, this is by Marla Chorda. Now this is it's fussy, but I think it's quite clever. And I think it's for the time, it's very much of the times and bold, and you can't quite see it, but it's actually accentuating Marlene's figure quite well, because the side peplums, I guess, and it just accentuates the waist, and she, Marla has got detail all over it, and very, very, I think, very clever. And of the times, I don't like to say things have dated, but some things are maybe not classics, but they are wonderfully of the times, and I think Marlene looks absolutely stunning. Wendy. Now she was like, gosh, I'm like witch bride. and she loved it. She's very fun, and she was our va-va-boom, our bombshell model. And this is lovely. I think it was lace, actually. If I remember, it was a pinkish white, with a pink dress underneath it. Now, Grace in Nana's Tropical Bride. Look how elegant Grace looks, and look how beautiful this is. What a wonderful garment to get married in the tropics. Like if you're on, it's just one of a kind. It's just absolutely stunning. I absolutely loved it. And Grace, really, really beautiful. Very special garment. Again, the designers of the time were Nana, her signatures of the way she uses island, materials, Fiji materials and fusions. Oh, look, it's me. Oh, gosh. This is, me. Okay, I am theatrical because people remember me as a model, but before I was a model, I was a radio announcer and, singer, and so I'm a performer, so I'm all just, but okay. This is a very, very clever ensemble. Look, before I get too cringy about myself, I love this because what we've got going on here is an entire wardrobe in one garment. The bride gets married in that, and throughout the day, she takes things off according to her mood. Like perhaps the reception dress was with the skirt, and now she's ready to party or something. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't talk like that. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, that's good. Okay, great. Cool. So there you go. Barbara Vieira, she was the wife of the general manager, Frank Vieira, of Sheraton, Fiji at the time. And that's Natalie Edwards next to her. And of course, rightfully, Rosie won this because this dress is perfection. And Priscilla was stunning in it. And just absolutely clever dress. Any woman, any person getting married would want to dress so clever that you can keep it forever. And that's what Rosie wanted. She's still very sustainable, all about sustainability. And she was zero waste back then, before it was trending to do so. There you go, Rosie Emberson-Simisi, winner of the bridal category. Beautiful. Look at these dresses. Stunning. And I've lost photographs. I know I had more than that, but oh well. We shall move on to the last category. This is fantasy. Ooh. And this is Priscilla, and the lighting is quite dark, so I don't really know, but I do think this was all it was a cape. And, I named it Alien Gypsy. So obviously there's something about it. I think it was a lace full, because we were all into cat suits. 90s were very much a time of cat suits. So there's a lace cat suit underneath that, if I recall. Anyway, it was quite, yes, just how clever. Bell bottom, too, I should say, because the 90s was a time when the 70s was trending then, so everything was very... It's sad that you can't see it. I'm so sorry. Oh, but look, it's a lace catsuit. Fantastic. Look at that. Right, like what? Totally wear it now. Wow. And look at the sweetheart neckline and just, this is great. And what I had everyone do, all our lovely models, we were blowing, glitter, because in the light caught it was lovely. So Hinesh Patel, his only entry, shell-shocked, he hand-sewed all these shells all over this, his homage to the islands. Again, the audio is it's not good, so we can't play this, but Hinesh is just describing that he wanted to showcase something that showed Fiji, a garment that, you could see is Fiji. And so that's how, it was his interpretation, and he did a lot of work on it, and he was nervous, and he was hoping that he would be judged fairly, etc., etc. So he did describe what he was hoping to achieve with the garment, that people see it and see unity and things like that. So it's quite lovely. So I don't really know why this is that long, but his garment was quite fantastic. And again, the lighting. Okay, there you go. Look at that. And he was describing what he had been doing. That's right. All those beadwork, seedwork, shell work. My goodness me. Look, it's not what he was saying. It's not like you're going to see island, water, etc., but just something of a fusion of cultures. Perhaps they were not able to convey, artists and designers, but that's what they use the artistry for. This is Melinda. This was just a dress made of mesh and covered in, well, I guess like Spanish moss. So it was very, back then, sheer dresses were the thing. Sheer dresses back then were a thing, okay? But they're also quite clever and elegant, and they were a statement and not just meant to shock and get attention. This is Zelda wearing Mela and Josiane. So the daughters, oh, look, see, there's that glitter. Frangipani, and I don't think this needs explanation as to why this is called Frangipani, but this is the fantasy category, and Zelda is elegant and lovely wearing this Frangipani gown, which, has a lot of lovely potential. And, yes, so everyone's standing in the back. And this is Marlene with Marla Chowdhury's homage to the Garden of the Sleeping Giant is what it's called. That's what the actual garden's called. And this is just between Nandi and Lautoka. And just take a note of these, of the coat. Take a note of the artwork or the pattern, or, of the coat. Now, Mala is describing that when she drives from Nandi to Lautoka or back, whatever, she looks at the mountains in Saweni and she sees them, and that's where the Garden of the Sleeping Giant is. And she loves it so much, and truly is a wonderful, wonderful view. So soothing. And the gardens, and they're so lush. And she had hand-embroidered, cut and created and painted and hand-sewn with also sequins, etc., flowers, The petals had sequins on them, etc. They were very, very intricate. The craftsmanship was amazing, was absolutely amazing. And this is Wendy in cheeky chic. And Western too was very big. Well, for me, I really liked, I still do, I think, because I liked my Western Barbie back in the 70s. All right, Wendy looks fantastic. She's got this sort of a petticoat underneath, a leather overskirt. Very cool. And paired with a leopard print bra and matching vinyl or leather. I think it looks like vinyl. But I don't think we have leather. I didn't think they have access to leather in Fiji back then. But how clever. And Wendy, of course, is just sassy. Oh, look, I love this. Racheli is in a shish kapadi, stripped. I don't know if I would have called it stripped. It's like just so fanciful. It's like a merry-go-round. Racheli go round. It's so beautiful. She does this most beautiful, delightful walk. And then she comes to, look at that. I love that. I love that so much. And look, there's a few tweaks you do. I think you could just, but I think it's very good. I think it's very good. And again, of course, remember, this is the art category. This is the fantasy category. Some would say it looks like a whisk. So it's quite cute. I like it. And she, again, these are the top models of the time. 1995, the top models with the supermodels and the top models, basic models. All right, so that's me. Naina's, these elephants, each popsicle stick was hand painted by her. So I'm holding it there so that now, as Natalie's describing why, and I'm holding it, now I drop it. Because up front, I'm not sure you can see it, but it looked like the elephants were undulating. So she painted them in such a way as if to, yeah, gosh, it looks good kill. Goodness me. I usually don't recommend keeping a jacket there because it spoils look, but I didn't want to take it off because I wanted people to see that elephant sort of moving its trunk or whatever. But yeah, fantastic. And it was lovely. Just wonderful. And again, that's an Indian, ensemble fusion. And that's Greg Scrivener, and he was the person in charge of Expose Swimwear. I was the face of Expose Swimwear at that time, This is Marla. She won for Garden of the Sleeping Giant. Absolutely, because up front, up close, that garment, that dress was just so well made. And it was a trench coat, so it was a belt, and just lovely. She did fashion it, get influenced by a Dreiselbaum. So there's a sad story with Greg. Greg was a very, very good friend of mine. And this is where Greg was partners with John Scott. Anyway, Monique Boyer, was the wife of the general manager of Air New Zealand, or CEO. And this was giving an award, the Encouragement Award, and Hinesh Patel got it to, because we wanted the young people to really have something to be inspired by, not just the, professionals and the established designers. So look, oh gosh, look, there you go. These garments, perhaps we need to slow that down.
Hey, dance.
Oh, the show. I know I keep saying this, but I'm so sad that I don't have more photographs about this, because the garments, which he had designed specifically to showcase his style, etc. And the garments are absolutely stunning. The first photo, that's Wendy and then me. And you'll see the show, but I would like to explain a few things first. So the first photo is Wendy, and then I'm next to Wendy, and that's Marlene and Racheli. And this was a collection, and it wasn't necessarily about being a cohesive collection. It was just a showcase for a show, because he had done our hair and makeup, for the entire show. So this was just to showcase David Shields. And so that was the first photo. The second photo, that's Bridget and Miranda and Tico. Now, these ensembles were absolutely stunning. You'll see them in the show coming up after this. But as I said, I really wish I had some more photos. Now, I think this is such a fabulous photo. Look how absolutely excellent everyone looks. Andrew is just giving, just giving face. And I really loved what the guys were wearing. So, and you'll see it, as I keep saying, you'll see it soon. Priscilla's wearing this fantastic outfit. Now, as you can see coming up, there's a blur in the background. And you do get to see this garment in the show. But wow, I mean, it was fantastic. Look, I do have to say something about, I remember what David had said to us backstage. He said he couldn't believe that we, being the top models, we were so amazing at dressing ourselves, and we didn't require helpers, and we were so careful with how we got dressed and took instructions and directions. So we were all like, oh, okay, don't other people do that? So we were very, I guess, pleased to hear that. I had said that Andrew was giving face in the previous photo. Speaking of blue steel face, this was pre-Zoolander blue steel. That is blue steel. These are looks could kill looks, but also I'm probably thinking now, what's happening? Because I am also having to keep time of the show, etc. I'm always conscious now that, you've got to elevate, make sure the show you're showing now is better than the show you showed before. So my mind is going overtime, but I realize I'm on stage, etc. But I also love this garment. It was a very vibrant lime and purple, I think. I can't even remember. And I've seen the actual show. But it was fantastic, and these are the only photographs I have of the show, and it's really quite sad. But you know what? This is a lovely time, and I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you have enjoyed the show. And 30 years ago, seeing how wonderfully creative people were back then. And what do you think? Have we gone backwards a little? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I think we should now hand it over to Sharon Rolls as she talks with David Shields about his segment of the show. Thank you for being here, and enjoy the rest of Wella Design Awards 1995.
One of the main reasons that I was attracted to here is that the actual opportunity to make a complete statement to somebody and to make people feel good about themselves is probably the main reason.
And how long have you been a hairstylist?
About 11 years now.
What's the difference between a hairstylist and a hairdresser?
I think a hairstylist is somebody that's not just working in a salon and is getting involved more with a lot of extra work from outside salons, whether it's working with, what would you say, theatre, fashion shows, magazine work, that type of thing.
Apart from your work with hair, you're also a clothes designer. Is this giving you a chance to be a little bit more expressive?
Very much so, because the reason I started designing was doing a lot of hairdressing competition work. I couldn't get clothes that would actually work with what I was wanting to put through as a message, so I started to design clothes that way, and I actually get the opportunity to do a total look from the ground up.
So what are we seeing tonight?
You're seeing a mixture of a lot of things. There's a lot of ethnic type of feels, multicultural feels, and my love of using different types of fabric.
Come on. Switch it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Switch. Come on. Come on. Switch. Come on. Switch it. Come on. Switch. Come on. Switch it.
The Wella Fiji Fashion Designer of the Year is Naina.
Come on. Switch. Come on. Switch it.
And now, of course, you are the 1995 Wella Designer of the Year. You've come this far. What next?
I honestly don't know. I never expected this, so this is wonderful in itself.
Hey, dance. 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 Come on. Switch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Switch. Come on. Come on. Switch. Come on. Switch it. Come on. Switch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Switch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Switch. Come on. Switch it. Come on. Switch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Switch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Switch. Come on. Switch it.